Welcome, Rebels. My name is Ashley. I will be guiding you through a yin yoga sequence today. Whether this is your first time trying this particular style of yoga or yoga at all, or this is becoming part of your regular routine, welcome. You are exactly where you are supposed to be, right here, right now. Yin is a slower paced style of yoga that really focuses on our breath work, connecting with ourselves, and also just kind of sinking into the body, stretching out major muscle groups and ligaments. The only props that you need today are a mat or a towel to practice on. You may want a blanket or a pillow. And welcome, we're so excited to have you here. So let's go ahead and begin in a child's pose today. This is how we're going to be focusing in on the breath. And for child's pose in yin, I always like to have a little blanket to support the knees. The nice part about pretty much all of these postures are that they can be done all together, and you can stretch out this practice as much as you want, or maybe you only have 5 or 10 minutes, but you just want to have a little bit of a mini break, and you choose to get into a child's pose or do some of the other poses that we'll be practicing in the next half an hour together. So for our child's pose, we're going to bring the big toes to touch. Send the knees out wide. Option to also bring the knees together, just depending upon how you're feeling in your hips today. And then gently taking the pillow, if that's available to you, slowly send the hips back, placing the forehead on the mat or a pillow. And settle into the breath, pressing the palms gently into the mat, focusing on the breath, on connecting with ourselves, which is the intention that I offer you today. You can take it, you can leave it, but I do hope that in the next half an hour you are able to connect with yourselves and your breath a little bit more. So settling into this posture, pressing the forehead down, feeling the support of the earth on the tops of the feet, the shins, connecting with the mat through our hands. Child's pose is an excellent posture for opening up through the whole spine, from the top of the head all the way down to the low back. It's also an excellent stretch for the ankles and the feet, opening up through the shoulders. It's also very common in yoga that this is your safe place, your resting posture. So let's get tuned into the breath, breathing in and out. Taking the tongue away from the roof of the mouth, trying to come back to or into that oceanic or ujjayi breath, making the ocean sound, constricting the throat just slightly, breathing in and out. Breathe in and out. Connect with the breath, connect with the self, breathe in and out. Working on trying to elongate the breath, regulating the central nervous system, feeling ourselves grounded and rooted. 3 more rounds of breath here, breathing in and out. Melting over the knees with that exhalation, breathe it in. Expand, breathe it out, release. One more, breathe it in. Exhale, release a little bit more. This is a posture that you can come back to any time within our practice. Gently pushing the pillow away, extending the arms out long. Extend the left arm up nice and high, being very gentle and languid with your movements. And then exhale, gently send the left arm underneath the right, pressing the left cheek into the mat for thread the needle on the left side, extending the right arm long, letting both hands melt into the mat, letting this left shoulder melt in, the left cheek melt in, introducing some gentle twists throughout our practice. Twists are so beneficial for our spinal strength and mobility. So see how you can settle in a little bit more into this posture. We're here for 5 breaths. You're welcome to pause the video at any time and hold these postures for longer durations. Breathing it in. Breathing it out. Breathing it in and out. What can you release here on the mat? If anything is feeling tight, send the attention to that part of the body and focus the breath there. One more round of breath. Wonderful job. Breathe it in. And then exhale, open the mouth, sigh it out, let it go. Gently sliding the right hand close to the face. Inhale. Very gently, very fluidly, almost like we're moving through space. Bring that left arm up high, lift the eyes past the fingertips, and then exhale, set it down. If this is getting to be a little bit too much on the ankles, you can do any kind of just gentle rotation, fluid movement, tucking the toes under for a few breaths. Always just listening to the body. The body knows best. The body will always tell us what we need. We just don't always listen to it. Coming into that thread the needle on the right, gently inhale that left arm up high. And then exhale, send that right arm underneath the left, right shoulder plants, right cheek plants, send the hips back, extend the left arm long. One side is always slightly different than the other. So listen to that, pay attention to that as we melt down a little bit more, getting settled in. We'll be backing off the shoulder in the next round of poses. So just stick with this here, breathing it in, breathing it out, letting everything melt down, breathe it in, breathe it out, focusing first always on the breath. The breath is everything. Whether we're on the mat or off the mat, we can't do much without the breath. Feel the lungs expand. Feel the connection expand. And then on the exhale, just let go anything that maybe is on the mind or the heart. 2 more rounds of breath here, breathing it in. Breathing it out. Feeling the support and security of the mat, the support and security of this space. This time you have carved out for yourself. Breathe it in. And then open the mouth, sighing out. Sighing out that old, stale, stagnant energy, gently sliding the left hand close to the face. Smooth movement, bringing the right arm up high. Exhale, bring it down. Being gentle with the self. Again, reminding ourselves that yin is all about slowing it down, stretching it out, coming into a gentle intermediate or pausing pose. Big breath in, placing the pillow here. And then exhale, slowly roll down, coming into a caterpillar pose. Nice counter pose, stretching out all along the low back, the neck, any pressure that we built up in thread the needle or child's pose. Let the shoulders go. Two more rounds of breath here. Fantastic job. Breathing it in. Breathing it out. Breathing it in. Breathing it out. Come back to the connection. Breathe it in. And out. Inhale, slowly rise up. One vertebrae at a time. And then gently roll all the way down onto our backs. Option here with the blanket, you could keep it underneath the hips just so that you have that extra support, that gentle separation between the mat and your body. Just it's nice to kind of sink into something soft and comfortable in this practice. Option also with the pillow. If you are into weighted blankets or just getting cozied up in any way, I think placing the blanket or the pillow, rather, either one, up to you, on the chest can be really beneficial to just remind us that we have this support. We're kind of making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich between the props and our body. Getting settled in here for our next round of poses, focusing more on our hips and our low back. Gently slide the left heel over to the left corner of the mat. Slide the right heel up and over if that feels good. Coming into another kind of gentle twist. Grabbing our hands, placing our palms together. If that feels good for the shoulders, a few alternatives here to connect as well. Grabbing opposite elbows. As long as we're making this gentle curvature in the body, opening up through the whole side body here, also helping stimulate some of our major organs. Settle in here for banana pose on the left. Feeling that support of the blanket, the support of the pillow. Seeing if we can slide the left shoulder a little bit further over to the left, keeping both hips on the mat, keeping both shoulders on the mat. Settle into whatever kind of expression in the hands works best for you. And we're here for 5 rounds of breath. Breathing it in. Breathing it out. Elongating the entire right side of the body as we place a little bit of gentle compression on the left side of the body. Breathing it in, breathing it out, closing the eyes down if that feels good. Breathe it in, breathe it out, breathe it in. Settling in. Banana pose is also an excellent posture that can be done early in the morning. Even when you're just before you even gotten out of bed, just opening up through both sides can be really beneficial, and it's not so extreme as some of the other things that maybe we do if we have a rigorous gym workout in the morning, or we're runners or swimmers. It's nice to wake up gently, even if it's just taking 2 or 3 minutes in the morning before we jump out of bed and get the day started. One more inhale breath here. And then gently slide the shoulders back to the center, release the hands, release the ankles, rotate the pillow. You may want to place the pillow underneath your head, and then gently slide the left knee up, place the right ankle on top of the left knee, coming into a variation of a figure 4 pose. Placing the palms down, breathe it in, breathe it out. This is an excellent posture for opening up through the hips, through the glutes where we store so much tightness, and we're also more prone to injury in this area. We'll take one more breath in. Option to stay here on the exhale, or gently begin to send the right foot down over to the left, coming into another type of gentle twist. The eyes can be up at the sky, or to add on, take the eyes over to the right. So whatever you've decided, whatever variation of the pose you're in, settle into this pose for 5 rounds of breath. Breathing it in, breathing it out. Feeling that connection. We started out laying on the chest. Now we're doing some bigger heart openers. So noticing the difference, what's happening in our mind, what's happening in our body, what's happening in our feelings. Whatever it is, breathe through it for 3 more rounds of breath. Breathe it in and out. Breathe it in and out. Whatever in this moment is trying to creep in, whatever you're wanting to fidget or scratch or think about or feel about, try to just be right here, right now. Coming back to that idea of connecting. 2 more rounds of breath. Breathe it in and out. Breathe it in and out. One more for good measure. Breathe in and out. This is another posture. You could hold this easily for 10 to 15 breaths. Gently inhale that neck up first, always protecting the head and neck. Inhale, you might want to support, make that connection again. As we inhale, gently pushing that left leg back up. Extend the right leg up just for a moment to release the hip. Flex the foot. Ooh, that's a nice stretch. Open up through the throat, through the heart. Breathe it in. And then exhale, gently place that right foot down. Slide it all the way over to the right corner of the mat. Send the left ankle over the right. remove the blanket from the head. This is the pillow. You might be using a blanket, never know. And then gently come into whatever variation speaks to you. Palms together, hands grabbing opposite elbows. Maybe you hug this pillow in if that feels good to you. This is your practice, it's your time. Get settled in as we gently slide the right side of the body over to the right, settling in for banana. Whatever you're choosing, just be. Just connect, breathing it in, breathing it out, breathing it in, breathing it out. 3 more rounds of breath. One more, breathe it in. And exhale, push it out. Gently release the hands wherever they were. Release the ankles. Slide the sole of the right foot, bending the right knee. Using that pillow or blanket, whatever's available to you. Gently place the left ankle over the right knee. Option to stay here, palms rooted to the ground, making that connection. Anytime we can make a connection with a tangible item, whether it's the floor, the mat, our body, all of those are opportunities to ground ourselves and be present. We spend so much time here and so much time here. Use what's around you to connect, to be. Breathe in. And if you're taking the twist, gently send the right foot over to the right. Notice the difference. One side's always tighter than the other. Stay here or take the eyes over to the left. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. Wonderful job. Feel the support of the pillow, the blanket, the mat. Both shoulder blades firmly pressing into the mat. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. Taking a moment to really reflect on all the miraculous things that our body does and appreciating yourselves for showing up, taking this half an hour block of time to soothe your soul, soothe your mind, connect with the breath. It's always so much harder to be still and be focused than it is to move in these dynamic, ultra fast expressions that are often associated or practiced in other styles of yoga. But yin is an excellent counter practice to whatever kind of exercise you normally do, whether it's lifting weights, swimming, running, if you're an athlete. It's so important to just take some time and slow things down, breathing it in. Breathing it out, one more round of breath. Breathe it in and out. Breathe in, bringing the head back up to the sky. Slowly unwind, gently placing the right hand on the outside of the right thigh, coming back. Both hips meet the earth again. Gently extend that left leg up, flexing through the foot, really feeling the stretch. Breathe it in, and then exhale, slowly let it all go. Let the right leg go. Inhale, extend the arms up overhead. Big stretch here. And then exhale, hug the knees into the chest. Giving yourselves that nice I love you hug. Breathing it in. Breathing it out. Gently releasing. Extending those arms up overhead and slowly rolling over onto the belly. Hopefully your roll was more graceful than mine, but either way, all good. Breathing in, placing the hands gently on the mat, coming into a variation of a pose that we've done before. Breathe in, lift the chest up, and then breathe out. Gently begin to roll onto the left hip, sliding the left leg out, and then slowly rolling back over, coming into a twisted sphinx. So giving us some additional opening through the low back, through the neck and the shoulders, using a pillow if that feels good to support the hands. Still placing the blanket on the hips for extra support. Another option might be, if this feels a little awkward to the foot, you may want to place your foot on the pillow just to elevate it. And then inhale, lift up. We're only going to be here for 3 rounds of breath. A little bit of a funky pose, but the benefits of the pose are awesome. To open up through the whole front body, through the back body, the shoulders, feeling that connection. Also, these twists are activating our internal organs, working on our spinal strength. Breathe in here, 2 more rounds of breath. Breathe it in. Breathe it out. Breathe it in. Maybe lift up a little bit higher. Exhale, breathe it out. And then slowly lower down on the exhale. If you're using the pillow for your foot, gently place it on the other side. Inhale, rise up. And then exhale, gently swing the right leg over. And then roll back onto your belly. It is a bit funky. Pressing the left top of the foot into the mat, but keep breathing in and out. Stick with it here. Yoga can be such an interesting representation of life. So often, we sometimes have these awkward moments and we just breathe through them and handle them as best we can. And then sometimes in yoga we have these little poses that feel funky and awkward, but ultimately the benefits outweigh whatever awkwardness we feel in our body. Breathe in, lift up through the chest. And what's amazing is that when we do poses like this, we find out that we can in fact do these poses. So having that sense of accomplishment is so worthwhile. Breathe in one more time. And then exhale, slowly lower down, release that right foot. Grab the pillow. You might want to use it again for our reverse savasana. You may want to place your feet on it, whatever works for you. But whatever you're doing, you're going to inhale, lift up, and then exhale, lower all the way down. Lift the knees up. Gently windshield wiper the knees back and forth, releasing any pressure in the low back. And then today, just to do something a little bit different, we're going to slowly extend our legs down and come into a reverse savasana. So ending in a similar way to how we began, protecting that heart space again, that throat space, that mind space. This is also a really beneficial posture if you have any tightness in your hips or your spine, or you're recovering from an injury. Doing reverse savasana has some amazing healing effects so that we can rest this area and still help calm our central nervous system. So getting settled in here, breathing in, breathe it out. Feeling that support, feeling that connection. You can stay in this pose as long as you'd like, just like with any other poses of our practice. But if the time has come for you to move on with the day, gently slide the hands close to the rib cage, peeling yourselves off, always being gentle, gentle, gentle with the body, with the mind. Coming into a seated position, bringing the hands to heart center, taking a big breath in, and a big breath out. The light in me honors, respects, and celebrates the light in you. Namaste. Have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for joining me today on your yoga journey. I look forward to seeing you next week or in person on Wednesdays from 6:15 to 7, or Thursday evenings from 5:30 to 6:30. Thank you so much.